Hello everybody and welcome to episode 97 of the Lifestyle Coach podcast. It's been a few weeks of me actually recording any. I've had a lot of overwhelm in my life, a lot of stress, probably pretty much borderline burnt out if I'm really honest with myself. And I love the podcasts, I really do. I love doing them. I love talking to you guys. I love just getting on and voicing things that are in my head because it's a form of, I guess, therapy for me. I love getting guests on, but it is a task that actually takes a good chunk out of my day, my week, when I'm doing them. So I have actually decided to start recording them every second week. One of the issues is also, putting that aside with me, one of the issues is also that sometimes guests cancel and reschedule and stuff, and I'm relying on other people to get stuff recorded. So I'm going to record them every second week, and my plan is actually to record like a bunch of them as well, so that if someone does cancel on me or they reschedule, because life happens, then I can still put something out every second week. I feel like a big part of my job in the Warriors Chick Club and a big part of my life is about being consistent, and there's just a couple of things that I'm not quite being consistent with, and it's really driving me mad. Podcast's been one of them. Email marketing is the other one. I just can't get my head around email marketing at all. Like, I don't know if it's for me, but also social media can be taken away in a jiffy, right? So I probably should start making more of an effort with it. I just find it really, it's on my to-do list every single week, right? But it's just never a priority, I guess. So I need to start making that a priority. This is my Big Bobbles bottle from Bishop Briggs Triathlon. I didn't get a medal. I got this. I kind of wish that I got a medal. Really wish that I got a medal. Anyway, last Sunday I was speaking at a women's event, so One Hell of a Woman, and I spoke about endometriosis. The aim was to go there and talk about how to live better with endometriosis, but I had a bit of a crap moment the night before, because I thought, what if people in the room don't actually have endometriosis? So what I decided to do was just kind of try and combine both of them together and talk more about my personal journey to help raise awareness around it. But I realised, like, throughout all the endo stuff that's on this podcast, I don't even think I've ever fully spoke about what it is. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to raise more awareness on endometriosis, and there is 1 in 10 women in the UK with it. So if you think about the amount of women that you know, if you personally don't have it, think about the amount of women you're surrounded with, your colleagues, your friends, your partners, your grannies, your aunties, your cousins. Somebody will have endometriosis. You will know somebody that has endometriosis, and they might actually not know that they've got endometriosis themselves. So please stay tuned and just learn a little bit more about it, because it is not a bad period. All right. I'm going to use my notes from last week as well. So I care about this so much because I have been in the health, fitness, wellness space for 20 years now, right? And I've always worked with women. I used to initially work with mixed people, and then when I was in Australia, I decided that I was just going to specialise in coaching women. So I coach women on the gym floor, I coach them in their lifestyles, I coach them with sleep, nutrition. It's a whole lifestyle, because it's all about the other 23 hours in a day. At the end of the day, everybody can go and exercise for an hour a day, but it's what they do with the other 23 hours in a day that are usually the problem. So also, like, sports therapy, that helps me get folk moving better, feeling better, having less pain. And I think with all of my experience, I've had endometriosis pretty much like my whole life, which I'll come on to. And I've went and did an endometriosis practitioner course last year, and I'm going to do another endo course. But I'm just like, I've got the skills and the knowledge and the experience to be able to help these women. I feel like I've got, like, I guess, a care of duty. Care of duty? Is that what I'm trying to say? Care of duty? Yeah, I think so. So basically, this is how the Strong Endo Warrior method was created, which is going to be launching in 2 weeks' time. So if you want to know more about it, I'm going to be helping women with endometriosis, suspected or diagnosed, basically, like, get control of their bodies, build their confidence again, and help them have more energy. So yeah, drop me a message if you're interested in that. But so I first started my period when I was 9. If you scroll away back to the start of my podcast ever, I did do a wee story on this, but just a little brief. Started my period at 9, pretty much from the age of 12 I was crippled, just put on a pill and left to it for 20 years basically. And then when I was backpacking around Southeast Asia, regardless of still being on that pill, as I know now, a pill is just a band-aid. All my symptoms started coming through, and then I went to Australia to get seen, was diagnosed with endometriosis out there, had to come back here and get surgery, and then I was diagnosed again with stage 4 endometriosis. It was on my bladder, my bowel, my fallopian tubes. I had endometriomas, I can never say that word, the chocolate-filled cysts. I was basically everywhere because I had been left for so long. I'd done so much damage that I was then basically pretty much told that it'd be highly likely for me to conceive. So since then, 8 years ago, I've spent that time using the knowledge that I've got as a women's health and lifestyle coach and sports therapist, and my background through my sport and exercise science degree, pushing and pulling and learning everything I can about endometriosis, but learning everything I can about my body. And that's what the course is, essentially, that I've put together to be able to help other women do the same thing. There's just so much more out there to it as well. So, like I said at the start of this, if you're still listening now, you'll know that endometriosis is not a bad period. It's a chronic inflammatory condition which affects approximately 1.5 million women worldwide, assigned female at birth. 1.5 million in the UK, 190 million worldwide, and there's still not enough, there's just not fucking enough research on it, which blows my mind. It's like, they're still seeing it as a women's health condition, but they know it's not just about the period. It is not a bad period. It is not what it is. It's tissue similar to the womb, of the lining of the womb, right? It basically sheds out and grows outside the uterus. And see, when it grows outside your uterus, you're basically fucked. It can be in the brain, it can be on the lungs, like me, my bladder, my bowel. I actually spoke to somebody, I know someone who competes at high level cycling and it's on her diaphragm, but I spoke to someone at my event on Sunday and she said to me that her sister had endometriosis in her nose, but yet it's still a women's health condition. I actually think it should be really classed as an autoimmune condition, but anyway, here we are. They've literally put it on par with cancer and how cancer spreads and grows, and it's up there with the pain level of cancer as well, but yet it's a women's health issue. What is going on in the world? So think about it being adhesions, right? Think about it being sticky like chewing gum or blue tack. So when it is outside the body, or outside, doesn't get outside the body, I fucking hope it doesn't start growing outside my body, could you imagine? When it gets outside the uterus and attaches somewhere, it just continuously grows, right? So here what's happening in the UK is, if you think about a mole, I've actually had a big mole removed from under here. I don't need to know why I show you. And what they do with a mole is, if you think about a mole, right, it's sticking out at the top. Let's say this is my mole, right, it's sticking out at the top. They actually go into the root of that and take it all away, so they take it out. That's why the mascara is so big, right? With endometriosis, what they're actually doing is just shaving the top of that off, so the root is still there and then it grows back. And what it then does is it binds things together. So it's binding organs together. Like my bladder, my bowel was stuck together. Do you know what I mean? Like now I've got an overactive bladder. I get a lot of symptoms that were diagnosed as IBS. IBS is not a condition, by the way. It's a mix of symptoms, usually from something else. Causes pain, fatigue, fertility issues, really impacts like daily life, and the average diagnosis is currently 7 to 8 years. When I was initially diagnosed, it was 9 to 10 years, and I'm actually seeing a lot more about endometriosis in the world now, but 10 years ago I was just kind of left to myself. There was no help, no pain management, nobody to talk to, nothing. And I guess that's partly why I'm here doing this, because I want to give women a safe space where they can come to me, chat to me, open up, feel safe, feel heard, feel seen, and know that they're not alone. And on that note, the first Wednesday of every month, starting in November, I am going to be hosting a little get together, so reach out to me for that as well. The one thing I would say with like the rise in awareness in endometriosis is that, and I spoke about this at the event, like people's GPs, their doctors are telling them that they have endometriosis. Now that is not, there's got to be something against that, because they can't tell you that you've got endometriosis. the only way that you can be diagnosed with endometriosis is if you get a laparoscopy and they go inside and open you up, because even on an MRI, it might show adhesions. Those adhesions could be scar tissue from something else, burst cysts, it could be adenomyosis. So they can't officially say what it is until they go in and explore and actually look at what's going on inside there. And 100% should be classed as a whole body disease, an autoimmune condition, something along those lines. There are 4 stages of endometriosis, right? Stage 1, 2, 3, 4. I said at the start I was diagnosed with stage 4. The stages don't correlate to the pain that people are in. They correlate to the amount of areas that it's found on. So obviously I had it in quite a lot of areas. Somebody might just have it inside their uterus. Somebody might have it on their bowel. So if it's found in like one space, one or two, say, that's stage 1, right? So I can be in stage 4. I am in stage 4. Somebody in stage 1 or 2 could be in more pain than me. So it doesn't correlate to pain, but there are different stages similar to, I guess, cancer as well. It's such an invisible illness that it really bugs me, because when people look at me on a day-to-day basis, you probably think, aye, she looks fine, she looks good. But it's so misunderstood. There's so many things that happen to me on a day-to-day basis that you probably wouldn't notice. One of the biggest things that I really struggle with on a day-to-day basis is actually putting socks on and tying my shoelaces. Now, I'm sitting here with no socks on because I'm going to be getting ready to go to work, and I will get help because my dad is in. He will help me if I really need to put my shoes and socks on, and some days it's that bad that I need him to physically do it for me and tie my shoelaces. I've had to ask friends to do this when we've been on weekends away before, and at first they're a bit like, you kidding me on, tie your shoelaces? And I'm like, no, and I need to explain it. But when I explain it to people, I just explain it. Like, I can't fucking bend over because I'm crippled with pain. I can't lift my legs up because of the nerve pain, or whatever the reason is. But it's really brutal on the inside, and as much as I'm sharing positivity on it, or trying to show you what is feasible on it and what can be done living on it, it doesn't need to all be doom and gloom. You can improve your life on it, and you can have a better quality of life. I do still struggle. There's been a period of time there when I've been in quite a lot of pain. I've had quite bad pelvic pain, SI joint pain, back pain, right leg pain, nerve pain, migraines, and it was just constant, boom, boom, boom. My fatigue was through the roof. I was severely bloated. I was constipated. And I did get inside my head and I was like, I feel like I'm trapped in somebody else's body. I feel like I'm always somebody who's pretty much, I've exercised my whole life. I've been fit, I've been active, I've been healthy. And when it gets to me like that, I'm like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be in this body. I feel like I'm in a body of a 90-year-old when it's that bad at times. But yeah, those are just some of my symptoms at present. So extreme chronic fatigue, joint pain is massive. And quite a lot of people with endometriosis tend to have something else going on. So like fibromyalgia, for example, or Crohn's, or celiac disease. I've actually been tested for all of them, and my joint pain is simply just down to endometriosis. And it's really important to say that, because quite a lot of people then are being diagnosed with fibromyalgia when they don't have fibromyalgia. So people are being misdiagnosed with things. I have the SI joint pain, sciatic pain, so severe nerve pain, hormonal migraines. The hip pain is what really gets to me. That's what causes me to trip each day and not be able to lift my legs because it travels down my legs. Overactive bladder becomes painful when I hold the toilet for too long, or I need to go constantly. It's just like a wee bit, so it's like having a UTI. IBS symptoms, like I said at the start, so diarrhea, constipation, alternating, abdominal bloating. And see, the abdominal bloating you get with endo, it's not just at the bottom, it comes from like up here. So people have asked me previously when I've been due, if I'm pregnant, and obviously I'm infertile. I'm 40 now as well, so probably wouldn't be happening, but it's quite insensitive of people, and I think that more people need to be aware of that, because you shouldn't be asking folk stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Some endo myths. So pregnancy does not cure it. Hysterectomy does not cure it. Menopause doesn't stop it. Hormone treatments slow it down but don't stop it. There is absolutely no cure on it at all. So there is more stuff being done. There's a centre in Romania which apparently is taking it out from the root. And I've had a couple of clients who have went over there in recent years, so I'm kind of like keeping in touch with them to see how they're going and actually seeing, you know, how long they are going to be pain-free and symptom-free, and if it is actually a cure, because I'd fucking go over there and get it done in a heartbeat if that is the case. One of them is a year post-surgery, and she said absolutely no symptoms or no pain. So they're doing something over there that is incredible compared to what they're doing in the UK or any other countries that I know about. If you're someone listening to this from another country and there is some sort of solution where you are, I would love to hear from you. Or if you're just listening to this and you know some sort of other solution, please tell me. The reason I want to explain this, because quite a lot of women have had hysterectomies with endometriosis and thought that's the best thing to do. And the reason that it's suggested is because it was once thought of, it's still thought of as being a women's health issue. So if we remove the womb, then that's grand, we're good to go. But actually, if you think about me, for example, it's on my bladder or it was on my bowel, right? I actually think it's in it was on my SI joint as well, sorry. Yes. It was around my SI joint and my sciatic nerve. I meant to say that as well at the start. That's why I get so much pain there. So that's 4 areas outside of my womb, right? So if I was to get my womb removed, it's still going to grow from those areas because I've not taken it away from the root cause. So therefore, people who have had hysterectomies not knowing this, and maybe their surgeons have not known it because they've not been a specialist, they're finding that they're then going through early menopause because of all of this, and their endometriosis is just getting worse and worse anyway. So just something for people to think about. You get excision surgery and you get incision surgery. So excision surgery is complete removal and incision is removing part of it. So like I spoke about, removing the top of it or going right into the root. So if you are watching this or listening to this, or you know anyone that needs endometriosis surgery, I would be telling them to fight for excision surgery removal. There's many ways to manage endometriosis, guys. So lifestyle changes is going to be your biggest thing. So regardless of having surgery, not having surgery, being on hormone treatments, not being on hormone treatments, etc. Before I go any further, Mirena coil and a progesterone-based pill are your two best things together to help slow down the growth of this and to help your symptoms. Now, what I was going to say there, though, with all of that, you still need to make severe lifestyle choices. And I think this is where people are not willing to sacrifice. And I'm like, that's how I live so well on a day-to-day basis, though, because I've made huge lifestyle choices, changes over the years. And that's something that's massively important. So sleep is key, man. Like, I do not sacrifice my sleep for it. And see, when I go on all my trips and stuff like that, I'm still in bed at like 9, 10 o'clock. I'll get up and go out early, but I'm still in bed at like 9, 10. I can't stay up to 12 and 1 o'clock anymore. Otherwise, my flare-ups are fucking horrific. So it's just not worth it. Movement is also medicine. Now, I know that if people are in a lot of pain, they might think that's contradictory, but starting off with something really simple, like going a walk, down your stairs, up your stairs, out your garden, back in, round your block or something that's like 2-3 minutes, because exercise is a natural painkiller. So if you can get moving on a day-to-day basis and gradually build that up, you're going to reduce your pain on a day-to-day basis anyway. Obviously, what you want to do is you want to learn how to push and pull. You don't want to constantly push through it. You need to set up a gear system, 1 to 5, and figure out what your week looks like. Things that I would recommend for you are strength training, yoga, walking, swimming, eating quite low intensity exercises as well. Anything that's high intensity is going to cause you to like have flare-ups, but also you take a lot longer to recover, so your fatigue's going to be even worse. The DOMS from training. Consistency over intensity, right, and consistency over perfection as well is going to be huge. I already spoke about sleep, but stress management, breath work, journaling, yoga, naps, all of these things help. Number 3 as well, guys, the biggest thing is nutrition. One of the biggest things, so you've got sleep, movement, nutrition, right? Grab yourself a journal, a notepad and a pen, and start writing down how you felt before you ate your breakfast, how did you feel during it, how you felt after it. Figure out your triggers. So for me, one of my triggers is eating 4 starchy carbs in a day, but I can eat 3 and I'm completely fine. Fine. Eat 4, fucking done. So it's figuring those things out. Or like, if I want a cappuccino, I can't have any dairy in the day. So if I want yogurt, I can't have a cappuccino. So there is sacrifices that sometimes you need to make, but it's going to be huge. The biggest thing in relation to food is ensuring you're getting enough protein and fibre. 100 grams of protein. Your fibre will come naturally anyway from your carbohydrates. Get loads of fruit and veg in. And eat every 3 to 4 hours. See if you leave big gaps between your food, your meals timings, you're going to end up severely bloated, you'll flare up more, and you'll actually feel worse because your endo doesn't like big gaps between your food. Nobody's body does. And it doesn't like a huge chunk of food in at the one time. And try and reduce your processed foods as well. That's going to help. Rest and recovery is key as well. So things like if you need a day in bed, take a day in bed. Be kind to yourself. Show yourself some love. See that love you would give your pal, your mother or your sister? Give yourself it. Because I bet you don't give yourself enough love like they do. Yoga, again, huge fan of yoga, stretching, foam rolling, that sort of thing. Massage, I do sports massages, deep tissue massages, stretching, mobility and stuff like that with my clients, and all of that is key. Another thing that actually works is lymphatic drainage as well. Contrast therapy, so doing saunas, infrared saunas into ice baths. That takes a lot of mental willpower as well, but it really, really reduces my pain level, and I'm talking, that's probably the best thing for me. I'm completely I would say pain-free for at least 24 hours after I've done that. And what it does actually is it builds a lot of mental resilience as well, so that the stronger my mind is, the more I can take. Like, fucking come at me, do you know what I mean? Because I've built up this resilience in here that, yeah, sometimes I get down, but I'll never be down in the gutter like I once was when I first had endometriosis diagnosed and stuff like that. I would love to hear from you if you've listened this whole way. I would love to hear from you if you've got endometriosis. I'd love to hear from you if you know someone with endometriosis. I would love to hear your biggest takeaway from this. I would just love to connect with you. I am looking for guests to come onto my podcasts to share their endometriosis stories. And I'm just looking to add more people into my network of endo warriors to help connect other women. So reach out, talk to me, tag me on social media once you've listened to this at @thelifestylecoach_endo. And just remember that endometriosis is tough, right? But you're fucking tougher. Endometriosis is tough, but it doesn't define you. Your body's not broken, guys. And if you actually listen to your body and work with it, you'll become stronger mentally and stronger physically. But if you continuously work against it, you're not going to get anywhere. So just remember, endometriosis doesn't define you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to that. Thank you for taking the time. Please share on your stories and help us raise more awareness of this horrible condition. Next week, I'm going to be releasing part 1 of, we've not finalised it, but a 3 or 4 part series on baby loss, basically. So this is baby loss month, and I think this is a really good time to do it. So just giving you a little key warning, you maybe don't want to listen to the next episode. It's going to be on fertility, a fertility journey with a twin survival and a baby loss. So that's going to be out in 2 weeks' time, guys. I just wanted to give you that little warning because I know that's going to be tough for people, but I also know that it's important to get these stories out there to help people, because I just know that if I had this sort of podcast, if I had this sort of help when I was going through everything I went through 10, 15 years ago with my endometriosis, it would not have taken me so long to get to where I am today, because I'm basically cutting the bullshit out for you guys and telling you how it is. Anyway, have a good week, and I will catch you all in the next episode.